loud or too quiet on the stream, let me know too.
Yeah, I'll let you know, brother.
All right, brother. Oh, I forgot.
Hold on. I got to watch like a 7-hour commercial here before your stream starts.
Why?
I don't know.
Oh, do you not have Twitch Turbo?
Is that the one you got to pay for?
Yeah. Because remember, it
man.
used to be we paid for it, and then Twitch Prime was like, oh, you get Twitch Turbo, and then they were like, no, you don't get it anymore. But I pay for it again, so I pay another $8 a month or whatever for it, because I watch Twitch a lot, and I'm not doing freaking ads.
See, I watch more YouTube than Twitch. If I'm going to pay for one of those things, I'll pay for the YouTube one, I
watch
guess.
so much YouTube.
I go into sports then.
All right, the recap's kind of quick this time. Are we? Oh, we're good, right? So I see us over there. Oh, so what I did, Adam, was well, you do whatever you want, but I collapsed the window even further to the right to make it a nice even column of 5.
Oh, okay. Oh.
It's your stream. You do whatever you want. I did the pop out, and then I once. It's not doing that for you.
Oh, okay. Yeah. No, that's even better. That's great.
That's how I did. Yep, that's how I got
It would
mine.
be. I mean, I really think that I should be able to just drag and drop the video, each feed, right? Like in an order, like so I could put yours on top or something if I wanted to.
Yeah, you would think. I tried it though.
You're right about the video quality on this being so much better.
I'm gonna do that.
Yeah, it's way better
I
than
can have more
previous weeks. Yeah.
What are we doing differently?
Yeah, they just upgraded Discord a little bit.
Yeah,
I
they
think.
just kind of revamped it.
All right, you guys ready? Session 28.
Let's do it.
All right. Okay. So last time we joined the party during a fray with some old magic-wielding women whose home the group had previously assaulted and broken into. There were 3 of them, an older woman and 2 slightly younger ones, but all equally homely. Alaric continued to be afflicted by their dark magics, having broken free from the form of a toad, only to find himself held frozen again by some powerful spell. Deckard, as a werewolf now, fought 2 of them at the same time, keeping them at bay but doing little damage. One of the women continued to try to drag Blackwind further up into the windmill. Deckard, still wearing his trench coat and carrying his gear, determined that this fight was fruitless and fled out the front. 2 of the women turned their attention back to Alaric, assaulting him relentlessly. Throughout all of this, a choking green gas permeated the room, causing everyone to gag and cough. At one point, the older woman tapped again on the barrel, which caused another gremlin-like dretch to emerge from the vile black-green ichor. Eventually, Thoradin and Spargle reached the windmill. However, Spargle came face-to-face for the first time with Deckard in werewolf form. Confused, but realizing this was his friend, Spargle held back from casting a spell on the wolf and instead turned himself invisible and snuck into the windmill. Thoradin also confirmed the wolf was Deckard by asking him something specific about the Jade Frog that only one of the group would know, and was confused but confident that this was Deckard. Thoradin, reaching the doorway, attempted to negotiate with the women for some pastries, perhaps to appeal to their sense of greed. However, the old hag proposed that they would need to leave Alaric and Blackwind behind as recompense, as well as pay for the damages to their home. Thoradin flashed his big, bulging sack of gold, a sizable pouch of 200 pieces. This at least drew the attention of the women, but they now seemed adamant about getting the coins as well as killing a few of the party. Feeling that negotiation was unlikely, Thoradin used a powerful divine spell to hold the old woman in place. While completely frozen, her face emanated pure hatred, evil, and rage at this atrocity. The group then knew they needed to get out quickly. During a somewhat claustrophobic and chaotic battle of blinding magic and slashing claws, Blackwind continued to bleed out on the staircase, waking for moments and coming to once or twice after being healed by Alaric and Spargle's potions. Thoradin attempted to create a distraction by lighting the room on fire to give the group a chance to escape by tossing a torch onto some wooden objects in the corner. Seeing this, Alaric dipped out of the windmill as well, An invisible Spargle followed. Once the older woman snapped out of Thoradin's magic hold, she barked out orders to kill the half-elf and grab the gold. One of the daughters moved over towards Blackwind, looked up at Thoradin, straight at him, with hateful eyes, holding Blackwind's head in her hands, and without breaking her gaze, she cracked his head open like an egg on the steps, killing him instantly. So he's not in the chat, is he? That's unfortunate. He didn't join. We can catch this later because there is a certain ritual that happens in Dungeons and Dragons. I don't know if you guys are aware of, and it gives me no pleasure to do this, but this is Blackwind's character sheet, and that's it.
Oh wow.
Wow.
So I'll give this to him as a souvenir.
We used to burn them.
Oh yeah.
We'd make the player do it.
That's great.
That's funny.
Yeah, I would have made him rip it up, but you know, social distancing and all that.
That's right.
Spargle then attempted to create a further distraction and launched a massive fireball into the upper level of the windmill. Immediately, some of the group heard cries and shouts of multiple children screaming in agony from that floor as one small burnt figure tumbled out of the window, crashing into the ground. I wasn't going to do the pantomiming, but thank you. Thoradin threw more oil on the fire on the main floor as the women and the gremlin creatures started scrambling around trying to put out the inferno that was consuming their home. This gave the rest of the team a chance to make their break. Battered, bruised, and burnt, now with the windmill smoldering behind them, the group hurried towards the town of Vallaki. Irina and Ismark looking rather concerned and a bit haggard. It was now the dead of the night, sometime around 2 or 3 a.m., as the group rushed onwards towards Vallaki. Right. And that's about where we're at.
So we're beat to hell.
Really beat up, I think.
I'm almost dead.
Yeah, that's right. You were on the fringe there, weren't you?
Join-
Yeah, I mean,
join
you
the
guys
club.
see Decker. He's not doing too good.
I can barely hear you, Will.
I can hear him good. You might have to change your volume for him. You can change your volume for individual people because I think he sounds pretty good. At least I thought you could.
I'll try. All right. Let's see if that makes any difference.
Adam and Matt, you think Will sounds okay?
Sound
Will,
okay?
yeah, I raised you up. I bumped you up a little bit.
I think so. I think you sound fine.
Yeah, you're good to me now.
I usually ignore Will anyway, so it's fine.
That's normal.
That's not nice.
All right. So, yeah, it's pretty pitch black. You are about half a mile away from the windmill. You've kind of curved through this road here a little bit. You know, I want to change something that I did before. I don't know why I did this. I'm going to bring back this road.
Oh, yeah.
That helps a little bit. There's no reason to not show you guys that road. I think there was something earlier that it was given away that I didn't want to give away, but now you can clearly see that you're on a road. It continues sort of to the northeast from where you're at. Every one of these hexes is a quarter mile, just as a reminder. The little arrows show elevation. So this road, again, kind of carves through like there's walls on the side, so to speak, of the road. Like it kind of goes up the hills on both sides as the road kind of carves through. To your left, there's still that sort of thick forest that you saw before. You want to just keep pressing on?
Yeah, let's keep on keeping on.
Yeah, like, I mean, so it's like the dead of night, right?
Yeah. The funny thing that I didn't mention,
Yeah, how long have we been traveling, Dan?
traveling since the windmill,
Yeah.
not far. Like we're talking minutes since you guys left.
Oh,
there.
okay,
Like,
yeah,
like
sorry.
15 minutes.
Are we gonna?
You're
talk
still a
about that?
werewolf.
I feel like
I-
if one of my friends became a werewolf and we were fighting stuff and then we stopped fighting stuff, the first thing I'd do is be like, hey man, what the
Good?
fuck? Like, I wouldn't just be like, that's just what he does. I will say that at least Alaric personally is a little bit less surprised than he would normally be. Just because, I mean, clearly we are in like the 9th layer of hell at this point, so
Mm-hmm.
no surprises.
He was acting pretty funny too, leading up to this.
He was, yeah.
So
Yeah,
has
so
like someone in the group asked me a question?
Yeah, I
or,
just
like-
Right.
I just said, what the fuck?
Okay. I didn't. I'm like, mind you, I'm literally dying as we're walking. So like, I am bleeding.
Well, let's
all
assume that we're like trying to bandage things up and
Well, I was going to say,
drink
what's your
water
all
and-
of your conditions, honestly, because I don't know. You maybe everybody kind of just
I'm not
real
good.
quickly describe how you look, just wear and tear wise.
I look like I got in a pretty legitimate fight, but didn't totally lose. But I'm
To a bunch of old ladies?
I'm still walking. That's irrelevant. Still walking.
All right, so you're
Scale
scratched
of-
up and beat up.
Let's see here.
I'm not too bad, but I'm just in shock. I'm just like, I want to go home.
you're traumatized, clearly,
I'm
like
traumatized.
what's going on, right?
I'm not saying much. I'm not even like that's looking at Deckard right now. I'm just thinking about
Yeah.
what jumped out of that window.
We killed
I'm beat
kids.
up.
We lost a party member, and Deckard is a werewolf. So those are the 3 big things going on for us right now.
Yeah.
So like,
That's a,
just to put it in perspective, like how bad Deckard is, he is like if he had coronavirus, he's on a ventilator. I'm
Is-
almost dead.
Is he saying anything? Is he giving us a situation?
Like
report?
I am wheezing. On a scale of 1 to 52, I'm a 4.
That's
Right,
not
so
good.
you're hunched over, hands on your knees, like
bleeding.
So okay,
bleeding
so
out.
if you're a werewolf, and I don't understand, maybe there's like some rule in the game that I don't know about, but like, are you like totally feral, or can you still talk to us?
So I can talk. So like, all right. So you asked like, what's going on? I'm like, it's a long story, fellas.
Is your voice different?
I sound like Batman. Christian Bale.
Like
No.
Brokeback Batman?
Yes. Fellas, it's a long story. Once we get some rest, I can explain it.
You almost got a sling blade going there, bud.
All right, so I mean, Thoradin sees you in kind of bad shape. So I mean, Thoradin's pretty beat up too, and pretty, fucked up. But I'm in a little bit better shape than you are. So I look right at you, and I grab you on the shoulder, and I say, "Lad, let me help you out a little bit with the power of the light." So I touch you, I put my hand on you, and you just see like a glowing light go through my arm and touch you, and I use my lay on hands spell for 15.
Ooh.
Nice. Now, are you guys stopping, or are you trying to kind of keep moving?
I think we're just catching our breath, but we want to keep moving. Like we need to
Okay.
just
Yeah, I
assess
think-
the situation and then
Yeah.
keep
I agree. I thought we were kind of just like knowing that we barely made it out, and we didn't want to like stop and rest and recoup, and we're just kind of
right. Like
trying,
5
to,
minutes.
trying to keep pace.
Yeah.
So that definitely puts a pep back in my step. Like I'm still hurt, but like I'm not hanging by a thread anymore.
Yeah.
Um.
And I give you a little smack on the wolf tush,
So. Oh, all right. Thanks. Hope Manor, thanks, fella. Appreciate it. And you see me like suddenly like start like, well, No, I'll stay in werewolf form. I don't know if it's a long story, fellas. I don't know if you remember, right when we got here, we got in a fight with some wolves, and it was all downhill from there. I started seeing things written on the walls, and
Oh, we remember that.
I don't know, these children of Mother Night, these wolf people were like chasing after me, and then one night I followed them out into the woods, and they gave me these powers. They turned me into a werewolf. They said it would help them.
So as you're going on, I just put my hand out and I touch you and I just say, "It'll be all right, lad. Just relax. Just rest. Don't worry about it." And because you're clearly all fucked up, you're clearly all screwed up about what your experience was and what happened. That's at least the impression that I'm getting. So I just put my hand on you to touch you and just kind of comfort you, and just tell you that it'll be all right.
Thanks. Hope,
We
man.
might be able to find somebody in Valaki maybe that could help. I don't know.
I can control it though. It's why they turned me.
All right, Hulk.
It's the new Hulk.
They
Hey,
said I
so
could
what
control the
happened?
curse.
What happened to the half elf? Did anyone see what happened to him?
Who did see it?
Didn't
I
see
saw it, right? I was right there next to him. Like, did
I-
I?
I left already.
Because I was running out.
Gordon, she was staring right at you as she did it because you were the one. You were like kind of negotiating, and then once the mother broke
Oh, okay,
free,
right, that's
you were
right.
standing in the threshold of the doorway, and the other daughter looked right at you as
So,
she did it. She didn't
now-
look down at what she was doing. She was looking at you and just smashed it to see
Wait,
your
looking at
reaction.
me or
So-
looking at Matt?
At Matt. Sorry.
Oh, right. So out of character for a second, just so we could get the narrative right. So who here doesn't know what happened? Because
I don't think anybody knows besides you. I think you're the only one that witnessed Blackwing get crushed, and then you guys all just started running.
all right, so then we kind of need to like play that out and talk about that.
So whoever just said, "Hey, where's the half elf?" was the legitimate thing that you would be saying at this point,
Well, that was me, but I wouldn't be saying that. One of them.
right? You wouldn't be saying.
One of them-
I could say it because I didn't notice
Yeah,
that
one
either.
of
I
you-
thought he
yeah.
was behind us. I just,
Right.
where's Blackwin?
I didn't say it because I assumed he was probably dead.
I should-
That's your reaction?
No. That's Matt. That's she squeezed his head like a lemon. I'm sorry.
Too bad I like limes.
Okay. The half elf. I'm afraid he didn't make it. She killed him, lads. She killed him right in front of me face.
Ugh. Tell me he didn't have the Jade Frog.
I think that's on me now. I think
Oh,
he gave that
I
to
think
me.
so.
So
I think he did flip it to
I'll-
you.
At that point, I'll pull it out and be like, the frog's safe with me.
Yeah, she crushed his skull right in front of me, and it was one of the most disgusting things I've ever seen.
I really want to go home.
She curb stomped him.
Did I hear children screaming?
There
And
was children screaming. I think I saw a little boy drift out of the mill. He fell out, and
What in the hell was this windmill? Nightmare Zone.
I blew him up. That was me. I didn't mean to, but I didn't know there were kids up there.
all right. Well, we have to keep moving, lads. We could talk about it when we get to Valaki, but we have to keep moving.
I don't know if I want to talk about it.
I'm fine with not talking about it.
That's good. Let's just bury all of it. So, it's nice and a lot of trauma. We'll never deal with it.
Bury it deep down.
Yeah.
All right, so Deckard, you're on foot. You're kind of running on all fours, or did you jump as a werewolf on top of Marvin?
Did we? Oh yeah.
Marvin gonna be cool.
I think you didn't. You say you jumped on Marvin for? I don't know why I thought that, but I could be
What was
wrong.
Marvin's last name?
Dick Fart?
I just wanted somebody to say it.
Well, aren't Irina and what's his name riding Marvin?
So they're either riding Marvin or the other mare. So Thoradin grabbed Spargle and pulled him up onto the war ram as you guys were tearing off, because Spargle was like sitting there in shock, and Thoradin was like, "Come on!" and he grabbed him and threw him on the war ram, and they kind of took off first. Dandy, Blackwind's horse, was just sitting there looking all confused. So Alaric sort of grabbed it and started led it away. So Alaric, I don't know if you then jumped on top of Dandy or you jumped on one of the other horses. I assumed you were riding Dandy away.
Did you carry Dandy? Or?
Yeah, you practically could.
No, it makes sense. I would ride her.
It does look ridiculous. It looks like Shrek, riding on like the donkey kind of thing,
Perfect.
Okay, so Decker, so what did you say? You're on Marvin
I
or on
am.
foot?
I'll have grabbed Marvin and gotten on Marvin.
And the horse
I would
is cool
assume,
with the
yeah.
werewolf being on top of it. The horse is okay with that.
Yeah, I don't know, like what
Yeah.
happens
Grab
to
a
my
drink. I'll be right
size.
back. I'm still listening though.
Yeah, same here. I'm in earshot.
Yeah, no, you're a pretty big dude as a werewolf, but you're probably about Alaric size now, so
But the horse isn't scared of a wolf being on top of it.
Marvin
No.
knows me.
Yeah, I mean there's a lot of crazy shit going on. All
right.
the mounts are a little bit skittish right now because of just explosions and screaming
Yeah.
children.
Just killed a bunch of kids, so I'll let that one go.
All right, so Deckard's on Marvin, Thoradin and Spargo are on the ram. Alaric is on Dandy. So Ismark and Irina are on the mare, and they're following the pack here. So good. All right, I just want to make sure I understood kind of how you guys were marching out of there. All right, so what do you guys want to do?
Start heading out. It's late, but we gotta move out.
Like, yeah, we got to get the hell away from this windmill. So,
Yep.
do we know what direction? Like,
I think we're gonna head due north, like northeast.
You had a map that you guys were using, and there was a road sign quite a ways back that made you, that makes you think you're on the path, you're on the right way to Vallaki. This road should lead to Vallaki.
so
Based
did
on
we
what
have
you
to
guys-
go past that windmill, or did that road dead end at the windmill?
So that windmill was like it was off of the road. So you
Yeah,
guys were
so
on the road, and I think it was late. Oh, you guys had ran into some werewolves and got into
Earlier,
a scrap
right?
with them earlier, and then you were deciding a while ago whether to just push on to Vallaki,
Yeah.
and you guys decided the windmill would be a nice, safe, comfortable place to take a night's rest instead. It wasn't.
Turns out it was not.
Clearly.
No.
So, can we keep going? Like, can I bring this thing? Yeah. Can we
Yep.
keep going this way? Is that the way we want to go? Because we wanted to go west, right?
No, I think we're going this way, right? Like that
Right.
way, right?
Yeah, that was the road you were on. Like if you
okay.
wouldn't have gone to the windmill, let's say
Yeah.
the road would have went like this. Like that was the path you were taking. I don't know if you guys can see that or not.
I don't know. I didn't see anything happen there.
No, hold on.
Am I looking at the right spot here on the map with the marker?
Yep.
Right? Okay. That's
So you guys were going like this.
Yeah. Yeah.
Prior to stopping because it was late at the windmill.
Okay,
That
so
makes
yeah,
sense.
I mean, I guess we can't tell, but don't we have like the other map, like the more like
Yep.
less detailed map? Because we have to keep
Yeah,
heading west. Don't we? It looks like we're going east.
Yep. You have a physical map that you guys can reference. Who has that map?
Hope it wasn't Blackwind.
No, I thought it was Sparkle.
No, I think I
had.
had it.
Okay.
Right?
Yep.
Yeah. I can. I'll pull it up and show it to you guys. I actually have a screenshot of it. I think. If you don't, then I have it.
Dan, are you muted?
Yeah. How's
I
that?
threw it in a
Oh, you guys got it already?
Discord.
So we're at.
Oh, you got it.
now,
Sorry.
Right, where was that? Okay, the win. So yeah, I guess we do need to kind of go up and around it. So that makes sense.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So the trail that goes to the windmill, if you take that little dotted line, I mean, this thing's so rough and off, but it looks
Nope.
like we're like halfway between, Ravenloft and Vallaki, basically, right?
Yeah, because remember we said like, oh, can we see mountains in that direction? And we used the compass to say, can we see mountains north? Can we see?
Uh-huh.
And we kind of deduced from that, like, okay, so this is the general direction, based on the map, based on the cardinal directions of north, south, east, west, and the mountain.
Yeah.
I think that was kind of the,
That sounds right to me too.
I don't know. Until we get a little distance, I'm not going to be comfortable. I don't know about you guys, but I don't think we're in the safest place here to stop. For beat up as we are, I just don't know.
Yeah, I want to get the
Those
hell
bitches are
as far away
following.
from this windmill. I'm willing to go until Marvin's cashed out.
Till his dick
Alright.
farts off.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you guys are pushing ahead along this road, same direction, pretty hard, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, just
Like full, like pushing all the animals and everything as fast as you guys can go.
I'm just hitching a ride. I'm not controlling any speed. I'm just.
I guess I'm not trying to push him, but like, yeah, I'm moving.
Okay. All right.
But I'm not like the chick in Lord of the Rings, like making her horse.
Riding it literally to
Yeah.
its death.
Right.
Deckard and Thoradin. Deckard, what's your passive perception in your current state?
12.
Okay. All right. Anything else you guys want to do before you just start kind of get some road underneath you?
I don't think so. We did kind of an inventory of how everybody's doing. Everybody's been assessed. I think we're all ready to move.
Okay. Thoradin and Sparkle, what is your passive perception?
It's not that high.
15 for me.
11.
Okay. All right. So you guys continue to move. I'll keep moving this along. So each one of these squares is a quarter mile. So you can move pretty quickly, especially now that you're on the road and you're really going quick. You're really kind of pushing the horses and stuff as fast as they'll go. Start revealing some more of this. Do that. So yeah, the road continues to sort of wind. You see, it's a combination of cobblestone and mud, and you see a lot of wagon wheel tracks, horse tracks. You see a lot more sort of activity on this road than you saw anywhere near Barovia going in and out there. The road is also starting to continues to be more and more sort of well built and just like a proper road as you go. It is really dark though. It's really hard to see. Even though the moon is up pretty good. It's a typical Barovian night. Tons of you hear animals and crazy noises in the woods and stuff. It's just got that sort of eerie feel to it. You almost become accustomed to this where it's just like, I don't know, just like background noise in a way. So you keep pushing along. All of a sudden, Alaric, you hear a Irina right behind you on the other mare.
Yeah.
hmm she you hear her gasp, and Ismark goes, what? And you look around and you see her face is just pale white, and she's pointing up ahead of you. What's your vision?
What do you mean? What's my vision? I have dark
You
vision.
have dark vision?
Yeah, up to 60 feet.
Up to 60 feet. Okay. So you see, I'll move you guys ahead a little bit more here. You see in this sort of cluster of trees, the trees that are that flank both sides of this road here, you're starting to come into like a little bit of a narrowing. You see sitting up in one of the trees, you see a man, a pretty well-built, tall silhouette of a man up in that tree, just sitting there. You see his one leg swinging from the branch as he's just sitting up in the tree.
How? Okay.
Just I can't see. I don't have dark vision, so can I not see anything?
You don't notice. You didn't notice anything yet or hear Irina. It was just sort of like a gasp. So Deckard and Thoradin and Spargo, you guys are just continuing to move. Alaric, you just heard this sort of, and you look back, you saw her face, and so your attention went to where she was looking with this look of fear, and you see this man up in the tree. No one else has noticed it yet.
I mean, how well can I see it? Like, it's a man? Is he alive, dead?
He's alive. His leg is like swinging, but it's dark and it's hard to see. It's like a sort of black and white silhouette at this point because you're still about 60 feet away, or close to 60 feet away.
Okay. How high up in the tree?
Like a branch that's like about 5 feet off the ground.
Oh, so not like he's not like way the hell up. He's
No, it's almost like he's like laying back on the tree trunk with one leg out on the branch and his other leg just sort of like swinging there freely, like he's like kicking back in a hammock.
okay. Does it seem like he notices us?
Too far away to tell at this point.
Okay. I'm gonna signal to Irina that like I notice. I'm gonna kind of like put my hand out and kind of hush them, tell them to be quiet for a second, and I'm just gonna walk up slowly. And I guess whenever it seems like I'm within range of earshot or him noticing me or whatever, and I'm gonna say, "Greetings. Who goes there?"
So you're gonna let your party that's in front of you kind of keep going too, and you're just gonna like kind of keep with them, or you're gonna ride in front of them.
And they didn't see it.
Yep.
Oh, I'm
yeah.
sorry.
So Deckard. Yep. No, they didn't see it, but they're in front of you, kind of still just hauling ass. Everybody's sort of hauling ass.
Okay. Well, then all the same thing, and I guess I would, maybe I would like pick the pace up a little bit, kind of jog up, and I would do the same thing to my party members. I would maybe tell them to,
So
stay still or be quiet or whatever. I see something in the trees, something like that.
So you're like motioning to us just to stop for a moment.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right, so the party is in front of me. Irina and her brother are behind me.
Yep. They're pulling up the rear.
Yeah.
You were the second.
Yeah.
They're almost
I would
like
kind of jog
naturally-
ahead and tell everybody to be like, "Hey, I see something. Let me check it out."
And that Ismark and Irina are almost slowing down intentionally to let the rest of you guys go up ahead. So yeah, Deckard and Thoradin and Spargo, you see Alaric suddenly sort of pull up in front of you and kind of make a motion. As you get closer, Alaric, when you're about 30 feet away, you notice that this is the same man that you guys saw in the woods, who you saw the silhouette of before. It's who talked to Spargle.
wait, when?
Oh,
When was that?
When?
Remember when Crocus like was talking shit to the guy in the woods? And he
have I
kept,
seen him yet? I'll
Oh, wait.
yell it out if I've
Wait,
seen him.
at the camp, or are you?
When you guys fought the werewolves.
Okay.
Dan, have I seen this guy yet?
remember
Now
that
that
now.
he motioned or not?
Make a perception check. Just to, if you're curious about why Alaric just pulled up in front.
Yeah. A perception check, you said?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, didn't Blackwind cast an Eldritch Bolt on him?
I think so.
No. I know who
I
this is.
remember when this was. What?
It was a while ago.
So 15, Dan.
It was.
Okay, that's good.
Was it?
So I noticed it.
Kind of hiatus.
Didn't he fuck us up too?
No, this is Nathaniel. Do
No,
I
no, you were
notice
there.
that, Dan, or on a 15 or not?
Yeah, I'm sorry. So Spargle, you noticed that this is Strahd.
Oh, it's Strahd.
Yeah, remember when?
Oh, shit. I thought it was Nathaniel Swift.
No, remember when we were in the woods and we saw that shadowy figure, and then Blackwind just decided to cast an Eldritch Bolt?
Yes.
On nothing, and then he casted
me up.
something on us that like killed everyone or whatever it was.
Yeah, he blew up Blackwood and me, I think.
Yeah, that's.
I think it was a fireball, right? That
Yeah,
ain't
he
what happened
fireballed
later?
us. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so we see. Well, I don't see it.
Oh shit, that's different. I thought it was Nathaniel Swift.
No, it's not Blightcaller. This is Strahd.
Oh.
This is bad news. So there, someone's got to tell Hugo Weaving, like, listen, just lay off for a minute, you know.
Oh, and Adam, what I was saying, if you want, it doesn't matter. If you click on that magnifying glass inside of the image, it'll on the UI on Roll20.
Right.
It'll blow it up. Yeah. Full screen. Not so much. Anyhow. So yes, so Alaric, as you kind of pull ahead, you notice it is Strahd sitting there on a branch with his legs sort of kicking around.
Oh shit.
Yep.
Nice.
And he sees you. He's watching you as you guys pull up, and he's got a little bit of a crooked smile on his face. And he's looking. He looks at you, Alaric, and kind of nods. And he looks at the rest of the group, and he holds up his hand, and he goes, "You guys missing somebody?" And you can tell he's trying to stifle a laugh a little bit.
Evil son of a bitch.
No. Well, just some aggressive recession for our party.
He says, "Oh, I see. He says, well, I hope you've been enjoying your stay here so far. I think you're going the wrong way, though. You don't want to go to this next town. Terrible people there. They're just awful. You know, I would suggest turning back."
Oh yeah.
Sounds
Well,
great.
why's that?
Well, yeah, you can't trust anybody in these lands, and the village of Barovia is under my protection, and a nice, safe town. I'm sure the young lady, and he looks at Irina. He looks at Irina a lot as he's talking, almost probably half of the time. He says, and her brother, I'm sure, needs to take his rightful place as the leader of the town. I'd be more than happy to escort them back on your behalf if you don't want to turn around here.
Why am I blanking on his name? Is Irina's brother's name?
Ismark.
Ismark. Ismarky. Gosh, how did I not remember that? Turn to Ismark.
Wait, so where is this? Is this the head of the group, or where is the group in relation to?
I got in front of the group and I was talking to him.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yep, as like a sort of, you guys are all together as like a little bit of a caravan, and you pulled up. You've been going along this road, and he's just up there on the right side of the road, up in a tree.
Okay, but so Alaric went ahead, and we're all kind of just chilling, like back, and he told us that he was going to go up.
I assume that you guys all were kind of moving up together. Ismark and Irina are at the back, but you're still as a little pack. If you guys wanted, if somebody wanted to be further back, that's fine.
Got it. Okay, no, right as a pack. That's cool.
So wait, am I back?
You noticed the picture that Dan posted there of Strahd? That I just got to call it that. The wine. You see the mirror in like the reflection.
And you only see the wine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. That's pretty cool.
Oh, that's fucked up. I've had enough of this shit. See you guys.
I
So I'm sorry. So he said to us that we should turn around and go back, and we don't want to go here.
Mhm.
Right, and I think he was sitting there waiting for a response.
He's not really. He's just kind of looking at you all, and he says, he said, yeah, terrible people there. He also mentioned, he goes, I don't think they are going to be very accepting to strangers, especially some of you that clearly are not from these lands. He says, but seems like the village of Barovia has also already welcomed you. You happen to know its new mayor, and he looks over at Ismark.
What is Ismark? What's Ismark's kind of reaction to when he says that?
Probably shit himself.
He looks like Ismark is very protective of Irina right now. He's pulling her tighter. He's sort of like trying to shift his body between Strahd and her in terms of the horse, kind of like, turn the horse a little bit so that she's sort of blocked. But he's otherwise just sort of like, he looks almost as scared as she does. They're both pretty pale white and kind of terrified.
how close am I to Irina and Ismark?
You're now, 8 feet away, maybe. You're sitting on the back of Thoradin's war ram, and their horse is a few feet behind you.
Have we, in the time that I was away, have we talked to Ismark and Irina about like why they're afraid of Strahd, like why they're running from him? He seems to be like stalking them. Like, have we?
Well, if you remember early on when you were sort of when you first met Ismark, you didn't meet Irina. She was staying at home with her because her father had died, and they told you, and you had learned from some of the other villagers that the burgomaster, their father's mansion was under a constant barrage of attacks by wolves and zombies and other creatures for weeks on end, and that's what killed the burgomaster. His heart just finally gave out.
Okay.
And in that, you feel that they thought that Strahd was like sort of targeting Irina and was after her for some reason. And Ismark actually when he found you guys, he thought that you would be sort of sufficient or prepared enough to get her away from Strahd.
Okay.
Well, while they're talking, I haven't said a word, but I'm just gonna kind of like, I noticed what his lingering late gaze and stuff, and Irina's reaction. So I slide off the back of the ram, and I just kind of walk over to her, and I put my hand on her knee. She's on the horse, and I cast protection from evil.
Okay.
On her, and then you hear me mumble some arcane words, and I look at her, and then I just kind of walk back to the ram and try to clamber back up.
Okay. So you do that, and as you're sort of trying to subtly cast this without being too loud and obvious and doing your best there, regardless of that, Strahd sort of like looks around, and he smirks at you, and he goes, that'll be helpful in Vallaki. He says, that's a ward against evil spirits, huh? That trick will come in handy. And hey, buddy, nice shot at the windmill. You really nailed that one.
So I just kind of look down. I'm not looking to engage him, and nor do I trust him. But I'm not trying to invoke another reaction from him either. After the last time, what I experienced, I'm just kind of like, the words obviously sting, but I just kind of like look down.
I'd like to ask him if he has any food on him.
Okay.
Strahd, my lad, you got any food on you? This dwarf is going hungry, and I don't like to go hungry. I need to eat.
He looks at you and he goes, see, here's somebody that's enjoying my lands. He's looking to, find a home here and enjoy all that I have to offer. I don't have any food on me. In fact, I think the finest food is back in Barovia. You won't like what they serve in Balaki. It's all dry and bland. But do what you will. Thoradin, you notice now, and no one else notices this yet. So in role playing,
Oh, you want to drag me in a different channel?
nah, it's
Okay, all right.
It's not that big a deal. You notice that beyond the tree that Strahd is sitting in, what you thought were just other trees and parts of the forest, you now see sort of shifting from side to side. And as you focus on that, you see that the majority of the woods on that side of the road, and then you look around and you see on the other side of the road, you just see zombies, just half rotten, just fleshy, just bodies, just swaying there silently, just totally silently, just with hollow eyes, just swaying back and forth.
I know I didn't see this, but where are they at?
They're like deeper in the woods on both sides, just sort of like standing, all facing from both sides of the roads, all facing inward towards the road, just sort of like standing there. Like it reminds me very much of the Game of Thrones, like White Walkers sort of armies, when they're just like sitting there sort of silently, not making any motions or just sort of waiting for command.
They're kind of flanking us on both sides.
How many are there?
Innumerable.
So no one besides Thoradin noticed it yet because he's got a really good passive perception. You just started picking it up, but it's dozens, at least what you can tell. It's almost like it's hard to see too much further in the woods, so you're kind of making an assumption based on what you can see.
All right, I want to cast. Can I cast Divine Sense?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so that I can detect good and evil within 60 feet. Any fiend, undead within 60 feet that is not behind total cover. So,
I think we've officially entered the Nightmare Zone.
Mm-hmm.
a fish. I mean, we've been in there quite a bit. All right, so I turn to the group and I say, "Oh, lads, we got a bit of a problem. We got quite a bit of undead folk on both sides here on the forest. So we either need to hightail it as fast as we can to Vallaki, or we need to go the other way. But we need to choose fast."
So you kind of say that out loud to them and try to not let Strahd hear you say that, or
no, I think at this point, like, it is what it is with Strahd.
okay. So you did do Divine Sense, or you skipped that and just talked to your friends?
Yeah, no, I definitely cast Divine Sense.
Okay. When as you're casting Divine Sense, you actually see Strahd look uncomfortable. Like he's had a smug, smirking, almost jovial kind of look on his face so far, an entertained look. As you start to cast this spell, and he hears some of the dwarven sort of invocation of your gods, you see him like scowl or frown for a split second, almost like he got bit by a mosquito and he's just annoyed.
Skaters, yeah.
So you do your divine sense, and you kind of open your eyes, looking for that like sort of aura or that glow around all the things that you would detect, and probably upwards of 40 to 60 sort of presences on both sides of the road. You detect a very strong undead.
How far forward from where we are? Within the range of my spell, or it's as far as my spell will go, or
so that's what kind of unsettles you even more, is that that's out to the range of your spell of 60 feet.
So what?
And you don't know what may be beyond that, right?
Yeah. Okay, so him telling us what he told us is probably something we should take to heart, and we should turn the fuck around and get out of here.
And well, as you guys start looking around, now everybody now notices the undead and stuff. So
They're not
so-
advancing or anything.
Nope. But after you do that, Strahd kind of knows what you're doing, and he says, "Oh," he says, "My friends," and he looks down at them, and then the 3 or 4 of them that are kind of at the front that are sitting there, when Strahd acknowledges them or kind of speaks to them, they start doing like a gnashing kind of thing, where like, they're just getting like kind of like excited, like, so to speak. If like you're getting a biscuit box out for your dog and starting to get a little. And he says, "Oh no, don't worry about my friends." He says, "It would be ungentlemanlike of me to prevent you and the lady, to let the lady and her escorts roam freely in my lands. If you think that you should go to Vallaki, if you think that you are going to survive there, by all means. But my offer stands. I am more than happy to take this beautiful woman to a well more appointed and established and safe place for her."
You seem to have a thing for the girl.
Yeah, I
Right.
would say a little bit.
Says, "Well, rare beauty is rare in Barovia, especially one as striking as this young lady." And he sounds genuine when he says that. I mean, he is almost like boyishly sort of enamored at this point.
Oh, so Strahd, I guess nobody told you then, huh?
Told me what?
Oh, that she's a tranny lad.
Jesus God.
Yeah, look under the hood, lad. You see what's there.
Under the hood.
Just trying to spare ya.
I don't suppose that's short for Transylvania?
No, man.
Oh, damn.
What is Irina doing right now? What's her take on
Shivering.
all this?
She is almost passing out. She is like terrified for her life. It could be that she's scared. It could be that Ismark has a death grip around her and he's cutting off circulation. The two of them are almost in shambles at this point.
I think we should probably at least visit Vallaki. And I'm sure we'll make our way back here and appreciate your offer to not set your friends on our necks while we pass.
Well, my young friend, you're welcome to join the young lady and see your friend Pimaver back at my castle if you'd like to join us. But you're also free to continue on your way to Vallaki. I will not stand in your way.
I mean, if we all go with him, what's the worst that happens?
Death. That's
Right, but
probably
if
the
we
worst that
don't
would
take his
happen.
offer and then we end up there anyway, then what happens?
Some kind of nightmare death.
We're so fucked.
Death. What happens if we go with him?
Crocus checked out
Nightmare
early
death.
to avoid all this.
Yeah.
Black one had it right.
Yeah, the dude
Yeah,
was
no
ahead of his
kidding. The
time.
head stomp's probably the cleanest way to go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What
Dude
if
had
we
his
left the
fucking...
girl with you?
Oh, we can't do that.
Hey, do you say that?
What did you say? Did you say what if you take the girl with you?
Yeah.
No, that ain't happening.
Yeah, we can't do that, bro.
No.
At that, yeah.
Nope.
Do you say anything? Because Strahd hasn't addressed you yet.
You
Decker.
say anything?
I mean, do you say that or anything else?
Yeah.
Yeah, I say that. I want to see what he says.
He says, well, of course. He says, now you, Deckard, I've been keeping my eye on you. He says, you also are making yourself at home here. It seems like you may be on the wrong side of the werewolf fence, but we can certainly fix that at some point.
Oh, fuck this guy.
But I do like your new attire, and certainly I would be. In fact, I would have my friends here escort you directly to the gates of Vallaki if you'd let the young lady go with me right now.
Alaric right then and there, like before he even finishes the sentence, he's gonna say, He's gonna say, Strahd, that's not gonna happen. I'm sorry. She's with us.
Oh God. Oh boy.
He looks at you and he
Oh jeez.
kind of gives that one he kind of gives you that one eye of damn it. He says, well, again, there would be no honor in attacking my lady's escorts. So if that is your decision, you are free to go.
Aw. Man, Strahd must be really horny.
Nah, man. There's. We need to get out of here. We need to talk. I think
We need.
there's something going
gotta
on here.
go.
He
Yeah, we gotta go.
really likes Irina.
Really likes her.
I mean, I really like Irina, but he really likes her.
Yeah, like he doesn't want to make love to her. He wants to like sacrifice her or some shit to get everlasting life. Like something real weird. Like something real fucked up. He's not
I'm
just
like,
looking to bang her.
you
He's
just see
looking-
I'm just trying to do the Getty up thing. It's not even my RAM and it's not listening to me. It's like, no, come on. But I'm just okay, all right, let's go.
Yeah, so Holyfield telepathically tells me, what the fuck is he doing? And I'm just like, rubbing its chin, and I'm like, don't worry, he's just nervous. It's okay.
Yeah. He's like one of those ponies at the petting zoo when the little kids get on it, and it's kind of like tolerating it, but.
So
All
are
right.
we riding past him?
Let's keep going. Fuck it. Or do we want to head back to?
Okay,
the
so
other
here.
shithole?
In a nutshell, he
Right.
is here with a zombie army.
Here with the zombie army.
looming. He's
Looming.
saying that, oh, you guys can go ahead. It'll be fine. We won't bother you if you want to go, but it's going to be really bad in the town.
I
and he
totally take him at his
suggests
word when he says
That we should go back the other way.
Right.
The way I see it is if we have Irina, I don't think he's going to put anybody in jeopardy.
That's the golden goose. I'm telling you,
it
that's
is.
the ticket.
No,
That's the
dude,
golden
no, that's
I
a real
think we
ticket.
gotta
This
keep her-
dude, he's been looking at her the whole time. No.
At least half of the time. He only looks away to interact with you guys, but if no one's talking or whatever, his eyes lock right back on
Oh,
her.
what a
Okay.
creep.
Like the
Yeah,
question
yeah.
I have is, why isn't he just taking us all out and taking her? Like, what is it about her that's providing us protection?
I think I think that he is, honestly, out of all this, I mean, we know the armies that he's amassed and the powers that he has. How could he not just wipe us out? I think that she is really important to him, and he doesn't want to put her in jeopardy.
I agree. I think he's actually trying to win her favor in a way.
He is super overly nice to her.
And at the same thing, I don't think to us, we're just entertainment to him right now. I feel like
That's
he's just having
That's how I feel.
fun
I feel
with
like
us.
if he really wanted to, he could just snap his fingers and we're all fucking.
Oh
dead anyways.
sure, yeah, it's
Right.
a
That's
zombie
what's
army
interesting
on
about
us
this,
and-
So
but we
maybe
could
we
also
should
Irina,
grab
yeah.
Irina and put her in a chokehold and be like, "Listen, motherfucker, get us out of this
Right.
shithole, or she's
Yeah.
dead." I'm
we
just
could
kidding,
straight
I
up
wouldn't
use
do
her as
that.
leverage.
I don't know. That could be another.
Oh
very
man,
bad
if only we had
consequence.
a crazy unstable half elf that would
Yeah,
likely
he's
do
getting in my
something.
head.
Yeah.
She'd be dead already. There'd be a dead raven somewhere. Someone would have pissed on Strahd.
Oh my god. Yeah, I don't know. Whatever you guys want to do, I'm cool with just trying to pass by. I don't.
I think
I
you
agree.
hit the nail on the head. I think you hit the nail on the head. Our fate is tied to Irina. We have to stick with her and take
Yeah.
her wherever we go, and wherever
Mhm.
whatever we're gonna do, we have to do it with her. That's it.
Clearly, he doesn't. He ain't gay. He doesn't care about her brother.
Well, he cares enough that he wouldn't want to kill him if that it meant that she would be upset with him.
That's true.
So that's leverage in a way.
That's true.
So, all right, okay.
I say we just keep going.
Keep on keeping on, brother. That's it. That's it.
Do you say anything else to him?
Yeah, so I maybe one of us would say just something along the lines of, it was great talking to you. We are all very exhausted and could use some rest. So we're going to keep going. But thank you.
Yeah, we appreciate
Alaric
you.
will say that. That's fine.
Yeah, oh, kind and magnificent, generous one. We do
Yeah.
appreciate that.
I got to say, what a turnabout from the last encounter where we just launched a fireball at him.
Well,
Because we didn't have somebody to try and kill him.
Yeah, where's the
Right.
chaotic neutral guy? I don't know. Is he here?
Yeah, it's true.
Kind of throws
He
a wrench
says,
in
well-
things sometimes.
Now we're throwing sirs at
A
him.
wrench. It's a whole toolbox. He
He
takes.
says, "Well, if that is the will of my lady," and he looks at her, and she's looking at you guys. She's looking at Alaric, who just said that, and she's like, just doesn't even make eye contact with Strahd. She's just like shaking her head up and down, you know. And then he says, "Well, that's the will of my lady." He says, he looks down. He says, "My children, please part the way." And you see the zombies, like the ones that were gnashing their teeth and stuff, kind of, and just step backwards and towards into the shadows. So Thoradin, you've been kind of focusing on them the most. You almost see, it almost looks like sort of a retreating, the tide sort of like pulling back from the, you know,
I'm
almost
Moses.
just
I
like
got it. Yeah, I'm
yeah.
Moses. I got it.
Fading
Yeah.
back into the woods.
I'm Moses.
I'm Moses. I got it. I'm leading my Jews. I got it. Let's go.
And then he says, "Of course, the offer always stands, but I'm sure we'll meet again soon."
Yep. See you, bud.
And he tosses a wine glass to the side and then just instantly pops into a bat, like just poof, just like a popping motion. And you see the bat kind of just up into the trees and
Is it like a
flitter
little
away
bat?
with a little bat, a normal
Is it
sized
a
bat.
Wuhan bat. So I look at the group and I go, that fucking guy's going, huh?
Are you talking about Strahd or Blackwind?
A little bit of both.
I only said that because Dan said we should have said that.
Yeah, I saw that. So I pull my pants down, right? And I moon the zombies, and I'm just like, right here, look at this northern us, right here.
The couple that are the closest to you just do one more, you know, kind of at your ass, like you just they want to bite it, but they can't, you know. They're like that the master's told the dog to stay, and it's still barking at you, but they dip back. You still see them though. It's almost like they line the path. It's almost like a you know, like a procession, so to speak. And you guys all carry on.
Spargle has backed himself up on the back of the ram, almost to the point of tipping, with the dwarven ass right in front of him, you know, mooning and everything like that. I'm like trying to give you some space, but
What's that smell?
But then the group goes as a sort of procession. Ismark and Irina are real tight on, like, almost to the side of you now. Thoradin and Spargle, because Alaric, you kind of moved yourself up to the front, so everybody's staying a lot more tighter and kind of moving, staying in the center of the road, kind of giving themselves as much distance from the two sides where all the sort of line of zombies are. And you guys go another, you know, couple quarter miles, also known as a half a mile.
Go another couple quarter miles. I've never heard that. That was good.
That was good. That was good stuff.
And the zombies are you know, kind of, you walk by, they don't follow, they don't pursue, they've all turned, they've all kept, you know, it's sort of like when the bride comes up the aisle and the whole room is just sort of always supposed to face the bride. They're always just facing you as you kind of went down the path. Like, the whole sea of zombies have just kind of rotated as you guys walked away, including like for Thoradin and Spargle are kind of in the back. When you look back, you just see, as you're riding away, just faces of like eyeless zombies just staring at you.
I got two middle fingers out most of the time. Just cocked out, ready to go.
Deckard is creeped out.
I'm creeped out.
This whole
You're like, I'm the
Sleeping tonight.
storyteller and I'm creeped out.
Can we go back to killing goblins?
You can keep
All right,
going.
you guys want to take a 5-minute break?
Yeah,
I gotta
let's
hit the
do it.
restroom.
Yeah.
grab
Yeah,
a
let's take
beer.
a $5.
Let's do it.
All right,
Okay. Cool.
I'll be back. So you working from home 100%? Well,
Yeah, right now. It's been
at
really
your new
weird
job. Have you been even into your new job yet? Like,
for like a day. Like I had to go in and get my technology and my laptop and everything set up, and then yeah, I've been home ever since. Like it's just been weird. Like I'm still
doesn't
doing
feel like
training
starting
courses
a new
and stuff.
job.
What's that?
Doesn't feel like starting a new job. You're not around any of the people, and like,
Yeah, it's been definitely been weird. But I'm still employed, and that's all I care about at this point,
yeah, your industry should be relatively uninterrupted, right?
It has been, and what's interesting about this, '08 was a completely different story. I mean, I graduated with a finance degree in 2000. That was like
what the fuck?
the worst situation you could ever have for a job.
Mhm.
What's interesting about this, when you look at past recessions or past, like market declines, big ones, it's been the finance and banking industry has really been at the middle of it. Like it was either wild speculation or, the credit crisis or whatever. This time, the finance industry
Healthy and strong is like the backbone at this point,
Right.
right? It's like
well
the
capitalized.
stability. Yeah.
Everybody's been pretty prudent. So like, yeah, it's just been weird. Like, yeah, we've just got lucky. Hillary.
That's why I feel this is short-term blip, man.
It-
this is
it
this is more, the fundamentals are all still there. When this passes, 90% of things should return to normal pretty quickly.
Right.
80%
Yes.
maybe. Plus, there's other industries that are going to be positively impacted by this, right? Like one is the spending, the government stimulus that's coming
Yep.
in is got to go somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's, like the Amazons and the Charmin manufacturers and the technology firms that are now just exploding, like Zoom and GoToMeeting and WebEx and all these, they can't keep up with the demand. So there's just like a sudden shift. Maybe 10% of it just dies. It'll come back. I don't know. My personal little stock, like my Ameritrade account that I play with, I use that as sort of a barometer. It's not my 401k, but it's like enough money that I care about, but I just fuck around with.
Right.
It's already back to where it was at the end of January. So yeah, there was a huge run up in February and everything was going bananas, but it's almost like if you ignored that uptick, if that didn't happen, and I'd have been like, yeah, this is fine. This is where I would have expected to be by April of 2020 with my own stocks.
Yep. And that's what's been interesting, like in conversations that I've had to have with clients. It's like, you're only gonna, like, you only lose if you sell. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
hanging, like my dad called me freaking out. He's like, what do I
So
do?
did
What do I
mine.
do?
So did mine.
And I'm like, dude, you don't do anything.
You
You
can't.
don't
Not
sell
now.
a thing.
If you would have called me 2 months ago, I still wouldn't have told you to do anything. But if I had a crystal ball, I would have told you to. But you don't sell after you've taken the impact.
Absolutely.
Especially their age. You know what I mean? It's like, no, you got to wait for that to come back now. You don't take the loss because you're not going to be around long enough to have it come back.
Yeah, it's not realized until you sell it, right?
Right.
Now's the time to buy, really. I mean, honestly.
Right. And people don't look at the whole picture. So like there's a lot of, like, my dad has been with AT&T for like 20 some years. He's got a pension that he can take like a lump sum payout on, a big one. So it's like he doesn't think of it, that he doesn't conceptualize the idea that half of his assets, his investable assets, were not affected by this.
That's
So
you.
really
Yeah.
only 50% of his money was in the market.
Right.
But people don't think that way.
No, they just see that. They just look at the
Emotion,
number and
man.
they see-
You know what I mean?
Right.
They get emotional. You know what's interesting? Yeah. Get into that.
So it's really like, I just feel like, I just hate what it's doing to people and their jobs. Like, dude, there was a food bank in Cleveland. I don't know if you saw this on the news. There's this food bank that's open like every weekend at the Muni lot or something, and they usually expect about 1,500 people. And then last weekend they were expecting like over 4,000.
Wow.
Wow.
Like they were like talking about how they're going to have to turn people away.
Yeah.
But what's interesting then on the other side of it, Dan, you're talking about like some people being like benefiting from this. Like I went to Lowe's this weekend and they've got a giant "we're hiring" sign out front because so many people are like, companies that are well capitalized are buying in. You know what I mean? They're like capitalizing on it.
Yep. Yeah, I stock buybacks, and I see the big companies that are just they're going to come out stronger for it, and unless something crazy happens in this
Right.
prolongs.
That's the
and
fear.
There's
It's
a double.
It's the small business owners that's big. I mean, it's a real problem for like, I mean, that's it's not well capitalized, huge companies. It's,
Right.
Strip clubs probably aren't doing well.
Webcams.
Dude,
Cam girls.
Hillary,
Can't buy them right now, right?
so Hillary, they beat their Christmas sales the last couple weeks.
Wait, is this insider tip that should I be buying? What is
it
it?
already
Dell?
Look at Logitech stock, LOGI.
Logitech.
Look at the stock on like mid-March. You see it tank with everything else and then shoot up. Do you
Damn
see
it.
that?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, it's right back to where it was. Right
But
back to
like,
where
you
it.
see that it shot up like the moment the quarantine started.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But Monday morning quarterback, right? Who would have known that it wasn't going to go down another 50%? Nobody knew. You look back and you're like, oh, we should have bought all.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
All right. Okay, so I'm going to still target like 11 o'clock ish to be done. I know, Adam, you got to
That'd
get
be
up
good for me.
early. and-
Yep.
Cool. All right. So after your little bit of a sort of encounter with your best friend here in Barovia, who seemed to kind of just let you proceed, even though he gave you some warnings about going to Valaki, you guys carry on. And now the windmill is far enough behind you that you don't even see the sort of smoke anymore. It is still dark now. It's getting to be about 4 or 5 in the morning. So whatever would constitute a Barovian dawn is about to happen. And as you kind of like continue on this old Svalich road and kind of wind through the trees and get past the little bit of an alcove or grove rather that you talked to Strahd at, Spargle, make an athletics check.
I'm not gonna fall off the athletics. Let's see, yeah, I'm not very athletic. Okay.
I want to see Sparkle throw a ball that's not made of fire.
What the fuck, man?
I'd go with the 20.
Well, that's what it showed on the thing, and it rolled first. But remember the last time?
Wait, what did you do? Oh, what's that exclamation point in there? Maybe that's screwing something up. I don't know why it did that.
Exclamation mark.
I see the
I
one.
have optional settings, none.
I don't know what that's doing.
Don't you just go to the advanced dice roller?
Yeah. I use advanced dice roller. I used 1d20 plus 0, and I
Mhm.
rolled. And
Nice
do you remember
roll,
the
eh?
last time I rolled a 20, and then on the right hand side it just showed my 20, and then it like 28 sided dice for some
Yep.
fucking reason?
But see, when yours comes up, it says 1d20 exclamation point plus 1. So it's roll 20 is doing something goofy for you.
Oh yeah, I see the exclamation mark now.
I wonder if there's something stuck in the.
But you know what's funny? I should do a screenshot. I don't have +1 on here. I have 0.
Dan's
Focus.
fudging roll 20.
Crocus rolling.
All right.
Okay.
So what do you
Hold
want
on.
to do there?
Wait,
Can you,
so-
I need a roll from Punch, like a real roll.
Hold on,
D20.
Well,
I don't mean to derail this more, but so when I clicked on under advanced rolling, where it says
Yeah.
optional additional settings, It says exploding, none, separate, compounded. It
Yes.
defaults, I think, to none. I
Yeah.
clicked on separate, and when I rolled, it did that 1d20 exclamation point like you have.
Yeah, but I was
Just-
on none. Let me try
Alright,
the.
Try one more clean roll. Launch.
Okay.
All right, I'm taking that one. I don't know what's going on.
I think the 20 was the better roll.
I think the 20 was the better. I think it was.
It was actually
That was the clean one.
based on math. Okay, so Thornton, you're riding along. Spargle had been sort of leaning back a little bit because of your
Try something here.
your-
Go ahead.
ass. Go ahead and fuck with that if you want. I'll ignore what you're doing here. Suddenly, Thornton, you hear Spargle go, "Wah!" And you feel his like weight and his whatever bit of a grasp he had around you kind of let go, and you hear him tumbling off the back of the war ram. Spargle, you were latched onto the sides of the war ram. You had your hands dug into its fur, and you were riding kind of just nice and steadily and sturdily this whole time. But suddenly, you get up, not knowing what happened, a little bit dazed, and in your hand are two big clumps of flesh and fur, which you know are from the war ram. Thornton, as you kind of look around, you now notice that there's just big holes in the side of your ram where it's just like showing its sort of rib cage and
Oh,
sort of muscle and tissue.
where the fuck did you come up with this? The fuck are you reading?
Hey Dan, how long has it been since you left the windmill?
Oh, only like 2 hours.
Hang on, let me check something.
So I talk to Holyfield because I can speak to this creature. I say, Holyfield, and I'm rubbing it, and I'm like, "You right, lad?"
Why can you talk to him?
That's what the spell says.
That's from your summit. What is the name of the?
Fine steed.
Uh-huh.
I don't know. Get this fucking thing.
Okay, it gains the ability to understand one language of choice. Okay, got it. Okay, yeah. So you're able to communicate with your summoned steed. So what do you say to it?
Holyfield, you all right, lad? What's going on?
He says, yeah, boss, we're good. Keep moving along.
Because there's chunks of flesh falling off your body.
Oh, I feel fine. Keep moving, boss. Keep moving.
Well, hold on. Spargle just fell off, so let me.
It pulls up a little bit. Sorry, boss.
Okay, it's all right. It's okay.
Didn't see. He was a little guy. Didn't feel his weight.
Yeah,
on
it's
him.
all right. It's all right. Hey, Spargle, let's go, lad.
And I just kind of come running back, and I'm like, I think I'm hurting your horse.
It's all right. It happens sometimes. He's okay. Just get back on, and we'll keep on moving, lad.
You climb back on, Spargle.
Yeah, I'm kind of a little wary of these two big
Yeah.
patches.
I am too, but I don't know what to do.
So you start to climb back on from like the backside, or like kind of like kick your leg up.
I put him on. I put him on.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Thornton kind of pulls you up on top, and you get on. You notice though, Spargle, as you're sitting there, the flesh and the skin on it seems to be wiggly now. It's not firm. It's not firm to the mount anymore. So you feel like you're sliding a little bit.
Something's not quite right with Holyfield. Should I get off and get on?
Yeah,
somewhere
we
else?
should. Yeah, lad, let's get off. We should get off.
Okay, and
Yeah.
I try to gently slide off without
Yeah.
grabbing hold of any fur or flesh.
Yeah. So then I take my sword out and I chop its head off.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Okay, so first of all, you make it another athletics check, Spargle.
For athletics.
There's a lot
Or
to do here.
make a dexterity check. Do that for me instead.
Dexterity.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's hope this fucking works. I don't know what's going on with this thing.
There you go.
I have no idea what that exclamation mark is, but it did it one more time too after that. 11 or 13.
13. Okay. Yep. You kind of like slip off of it. You do feel like as you're sliding off that almost like if you were to have latched on a little bit too much to the skin and fur, that it might have kind of came with you.
That's
kind of like
gross.
shifting like that. Thornton, as you pull out Talon, and you're kind of looking, the war ram kind of looks over at you. You now see that its eyes that were previously like a normal war ram are now like sort of like a dead fish, right?
Yeah.
Just sort of like
Yep.
foggy now and whatnot. And he looks at you, and since you're speaking with him, he goes, "Hey boss, what's the sort?" His head comes off.
Yep. That's it.
All right.
So I couldn't risk him becoming a zombie. Sorry, folks.
Poor
Yeah.
Holyfield.
Irina gives a little bit of a gasp as the head falls off, and Ismark's like, "What's going on up there, guys?"
So I say he was turning, lad. He was becoming a zombie, and I couldn't watch me beloved Holyfield become a zombie, so I had to end him.
Can you resummon him?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Just find Steed, brother. It's just magic.
It's just magic. It's just a spell slot, baby.
Just
a
find
spell slot.
Steve,
I'll-
brother.
Find Steed, brother. That's it.
It's just.
I thought it
magic.
was an hour, Dan, but it was 10 minutes. I have since turned back into Decker.
Okay. All right. So kind of, how long out was it?
It would have been 10 minutes. So it might have been, I guess you could
10
say-
minutes since you turned?
No, I was only I guess, I don't know how much time passed in the fight, but I only am in my hybrid form for 10 minutes. Well,
Oh,
hang on.
okay.
Wait, no. They changed that. Hang on. Let me pull something up here.
Sparkle, does it cost a spell slot for you to potentially light the ram on fire?
Light him on fire.
Yeah.
No, I can.
It says you can transfer them in your hybrid form for an hour.
Yes.
Maybe I would
Yeah, it's
say
1
one
hour.
more
Sorry,
time.
they just changed it and they haven't updated it on the character sheets yet.
Okay. So to retcon that, you were it was before you encountered it was probably as you were encountering Strahd or walking away from Strahd. Let's just call it that.
Okay.
So yeah,
Out and like came back. I did the opposite of turning into the Hulk.
yeah. While you were riding on the back of Marvin at this point, so it was like the group kind of saw as you guys were galloping away from the Strahd army of zombies. At some point, Deckard sort of shifting around a little bit, and his just sort of silhouette shrink a little bit back into what looked like the proper size for his trench coat and stuff. And he moved along, and if anyone paid attention, it's the old Deckard that's back. He looks similar to the way you guys found him the one time he returned to the Blood on the Vine Tavern, where he was all like sort of haggard and looked like he had been, had a rough night.
When the Steed drops to 0 health, it disappears, leaving no physical form. So I guess we could say that when I killed him, he just
Yep, exactly.
Prestidigitation, and it's a little ram with wings that just go up in the air.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Thank you.
Just to make you feel better, like an old Looney Tunes cartoon. It's got the little...
Bye, Holyfield. Yeah.
Yep. All right. So all that happened. All right.
And so you're
Thornton, you also...
So you're just your normal cowboy again there, Deckard?
Yeah, but my undershirt's pretty much shredded. I'm kind of wearing a trench coat with no shirt.
You're all Bruce Bannered out. Yeah.
Thornton, you also had been feeling very nauseous and had thrown up several times the last few days. You now feel better. You feel
Okay.
normal.
Good.
You
I'm
feel
not
like you got
pregnant. Got it. Okay.
your iron stomach back. That's right. You want pickles and sardines on ice cream suddenly, but
Yeah, because didn't I bite a bat? I mean, I did it before it was cool. Okay, let's be real. I bit the bat before it was a cool thing to bite bats. Okay.
Kind of bad.
Move on, bat.
Oh, no.
I'm not going to say if that's what this was. You're assuming that's what it was.
Right. Yes. Correct. I am assuming.
But now, you know, you and Spargle are just sort of like walking now.
Yeah.
Okay. And you guys continue along the road. Is there anything else you want to do right now?
I ain't got a shit. I ain't got a piss. Kind of hungry, but we'll keep moving.
Yeah, I mean, it is getting again close to dawn. You're rather beat up. No one slept for a while. You're getting pretty tired. You come to a point in the road where, to the right of the road, it turns into a footpath that leads down to what you can tell is water. And it's still dark, but you can tell that there's a big body of water just based by looking like sort of a quarter mile that direction. And then suddenly there's no terrain, no trees. Thornton, this is where you had asked many miles earlier if there was like any sort of geographical features. And on the far side of what you assume is a body of water, or maybe it's a giant desert or just some flat black sort of area right now, is where you can see the silhouette of a mountain range.
So that's Lake Zarovich. I got it. Okay.
Should we consider making a camp?
Yes.
Can I see if it's a lake or a river? Can I tell the difference?
Do you guys want to go towards the lake or stay on the path or camp or what?
Maybe we could camp by the lake. Would you guys be open to that? I mean, it is daylight. That might be the best time to take a little rest because
It's a good idea. I like that.
Yeah, we could check it out.
maybe bathe, you know, have it rest up a little bit, take a short rest maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's just be careful. The last footpath I walked down to just it turned out to be a little bit of a trap. So let's just be careful.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to assume you move down towards the body of water here.
Yeah.
So at the foot of a mountain. So now that you approach this large body of water, it does look like a lake. It is a couple. It is, you know, you can see its gauge. It's a mile or two across. It's hard to tell, but it's a huge body of water. And there are mountains far in the distance on the other side. You do see a pretty good set of trees and woods before the elevation starts of the mountain on the other side of the lake. So at the foot of a mountain, nestled in the misty forest, is a large lake. The water is perfectly still and dark, reflecting the black clouds overhead like a monstrous mirror. It seems very quiet where you're at. The lake itself is very still. There's not many waves or noise coming from the lake. You find that the little footpath sort of ends in a pretty clean, dirty sand sort of area. So it's not like a white sand beach, but it's nice, clean sand. Actually get a good bit of visibility, kind of looking around, that you're not real close to any sort of trees or any areas where things can kind of jump out at you. You are kind of out in the open a little bit on the beach, but if this is where you want to try to camp, you're more than welcome to.
Do you guys think it's all right?
I think it's morning. I think it's sunlight. It's the middle of it's morning. I think this is the best time for us to take a little short rest. So, maybe regenerate a little bit of health or energy until we get moving to Vallaki.
Energy.
Color red.
Backpack.
Sounds good to me.
Dan, looking along the west side of the bank, we don't see scanning the kind of like towards the horizon there on the west side. We don't see like the edge of like anything like the city or anything, do we? Just looking at the map and where it may be, I'm just trying to see if I can see anything along the lake.
So looking west along the lake, you really don't. It looks like, as far as your eyes can see to the horizon, you see a tree line and a beach sort of like dipping in and out. But as far as you can see, the lake kind of continues on to the west.
Okay. So just wood line and lake. Okay.
Yep, exactly.
Got it.
Same to the east, except that to the east, you see it starts to bend up sort of north where it would start to curve around to form the oval, the east side of the oval that would probably be this lake.
Are we going to take just a short rest, or are we going to try to take a rest? Like 8 hours, or are you thinking just like an hour?
I would gauge it as about 5 a.m. just for what it's worth.
I mean, we probably need a long rest. We probably do.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, that's...
Mm-hmm.
I was pretty beat up.
I think that makes sense. And then, I mean, it'll be midday. We could probably still maybe make Vallaki by nightfall.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Then we could crash there at the inn and then crash the next day.
Yeah.
So as you're deciding that, Sparkle, and as you're looking to the west, you do notice...
Oh, God.
In the water, about 500 feet away, you see some shapes that strike you as odd. At first, you're like, it's probably just some logs floating in the water. But the fact that the rest of this lake that you've seen so far is like a piece of glass, it's kind of odd to you that you'd see anything kind of floating there. So, but you do.
Just floating, not moving?
Floating, like lapping up against the shore, like driftwood.
Uh-oh.
Oh God, the dead body.
Just leave it.
I mentioned it. Hey guys, there's something over there.
The black one?
I might check it out, but I don't know. I want you guys. I don't know what this is. Something's in the water.
Yeah, maybe we just ignored it. Take a nap. It's all right.
It doesn't appear to be moving, but okay. It's like 500 feet away.
Yep, to the west.
I don't know. We need to rest. We need to rest.
Yeah, we do. Like, I'm afraid to go see what it is. Like, I almost want to, like, it's like one of those things, maybe if we pretend it's not there, nothing will happen.
That's what I'm saying.
Like,
I'm with you on that.
We've dealt with so much crap in the past.
Don't look under your bed. There's not a monster there. Just go to bed. It's fine. Don't look in the closet.
Maybe we could send Bismarck. Maybe he wants to go.
Let me just, if I can move pretty quick if I need to. I'm just going to explore it real quick while you guys set up camp.
But I can't move quick if I have to, lad.
I'm not too bad a shape either. You guys are a little more
All right.
torn up.
All right.
I'm going to cautiously approach Dan, and I'm like trying to not, be ridiculous with noise and stuff here, trying to. Figure out what I'm looking at as I approach it.
Sent you Slack.
Okay.
That doesn't sound good.
All right.
Okay. I once I kind of perceive it, I'd make my way back.
Okay. After a few minutes, you guys see Spargle come bouncing back over to the group.
So it's just getting nicer and nicer here. There's a bunch of dead wolves tied together that their heads have been cleanly cut off, like decapitated wolf bodies tied together with a rope.
Oh, that sucks for them, right? All right, let's take a nap.
We're all right with that nap here. Okay. All right.
Okay.
I go about start casting alarm.
Okay.
Do my ritual.
Yeah, I mean, look,
So-
if it was nighttime, I would say, yeah, dead wolves, decapitated, probably not good. But like, it's
We
the middle
might
of the...
want to watch though. Maybe
Well, yeah,
take-
one of us should stay on watch, right? I
Yeah.
mean, we should, rotate with that.
I'll take first
so-
watch if you want.
Deckard's like getting ready to sleep. You see him start like he's messing with his nose. He smells something, and then like he starts getting really agitated. Like what's that? I can't. We gotta move. We gotta get out of here. This is I smell something.
What is it? The wolves?
I smell dead. Yeah, I smell dead wolves, and it's grossing me out. We need another campsite. I can't do it. Like, and you see like my hair is standing up. Like, I'm like scratching myself. Like, I'm freaking out. Like, and I start like gagging. I start gagging. And I start like running back away from the lake. Like I'm like I gotta get out of here.
Okay.
All right,
Let's find another spot.
let's keep it going.
I think
All
there's
right.
enough weirdness going on here to.
All right. So you want to move back to the road and keep pushing on a little bit further?
Yeah, Thornton is hangry though. Just letting everyone know.
Yep. Okay. So after that, anybody disagree or have anything else they want to say?
What about closer to the road? Do you think, or is it still too close for you?
We just gotta get away. Starting to get a little better now.
No, Wolfman Jack wants to go. Let's go.
I can no, it's fine. We can find a place to camp. I can't be down by that those wolves. To give you guys a perspective of like how this is for Deckard, I don't know if you've ever like this happens a lot at Lake Erie. I don't know if like you've ever been like to a restaurant that's on the water, but there's like a dead fish in the water by where you're eating.
Oh, I know that
Yeah.
smell very well. Yeah.
Okay,
I
like
live on
that,
Long Island, so I'm used to that.
that's what I'm dealing with, but times 1,000.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not cool.
Adam, are you doing Zul'Gurub up tomorrow?
I don't know. Probably not.
All right, we'll talk tomorrow about it.
Yeah.
All right. So everybody sees Deckard kind of freaking out and are everybody's been through enough so that they agree. All right, we're gonna dip out if he's
Yeah,
super
keep on
sensitive to
going.
what's going on here. So do you guys want to go back to the road, into the woods, or just kind of go further down the road and then find a camping spot off
Back to the
Oh,
road,
cool.
heading west.
heading west? Okay. So you guys go for another 30 minutes or so. You find a decent. Where were you looking for a camping spot? You're on the road now.
Place without decapitated wolves.
For
Yeah.
starters,
Can I-
right?
can I
That's,
make a
that's for
survival check?
starters.
Dan?
Yeah. Yep. Please do.
Let's see here.
What do you guys make of that? I mean, is there? I mean,
At par for the course at in this fucking place. I mean, I was totally cool with it.
So I fail. I just rolled like what's my?
So Deckard's like, I see some
I
rocks
rolled a
here.
10. I have a +8, so that's a 10.
A 10. Okay. Yeah, you actually, you're really distracted, but it's still disturbed by that smell. You just can't seem to, even when you get away from it, like physically, it still is like sticking with you to a point where you're just like, I can't. It's like stuck in your nose. But you start looking around, and this road, there's plenty of nice little spots off the side of the road in the woods, and you find a good one. You find one that's like seems pretty sort of private, but yet kind of surrounded by trees, with a very small opening back up to the road. You feel somewhat protected there. And so the whole group kind of like dips over there and starts jumping off their mounts and kind of doing their thing. Now it's 5:30, 6 a.m. How long do you guys want to sleep, and any preparations you want to make?
We're gonna do a long rest, and I'll do a alarm.
Okay.
Who's taking first watch?
I'll take first watch.
Okay.
Deckard is crashing. He's like
Yeah,
out already.
You were in wolf mode. You're ready to crash.
All right. So Alaric, make a perception check. And are you staying up the whole night, or are you somebody else taking
I'll,
a?
I'll take second.
Half
I'll
of
take
it.
second
Okay.
watch.
And you also cast an alarm spell kind of around the perimeter
Yep.
of the group. Okay.
Omitting our group, but
So you
yes.
said what? Make a what now?
Perception check.
All right. Not
Okay.
awful.
All right. So everybody crashes. You've been going for a long time. You were trying to crash at the windmill before all that catastrophe kind of unfolded. And then the pressed march from when you ran into Strahd, and then starting to set up camp at the lake. And it's just, so those of you that sleep crash. Alaric, you are borderline, fighting to keep awake yourself. You've got a lot of fortitude. You're a strong-willed person. You can go days without sleep and it not affect you. But even you are at this point are just starting to feel just drained. So when Spargle pops up at some point closer to the mid morning, the sun is starting to come up, or that dim glow is starting to just sort of surround you. Spargle kind of walks over and says,
All right, Larry, take your rest. I got it, buddy.
Thanks, buddy.
and you practically don't even find a place to sleep. Wherever he said that to you, you just kind of nod and crash your head. Spargle, you sit there, confident in your alarm spell, confident that it's getting brighter out. You're looking around, you feel pretty good. And then by about 10 or 11 in the morning, so sort of mid-morning, everybody starts waking up, feeling refreshed. Everybody got a good long rest.
All right.
So you can take that.
Oh, thank God.
And it's quieter here. An odd thing that I didn't mention, but about Barovia is you kind of get this feeling every evening, the way you start to get this like feeling of the atmosphere and just the sounds and everything, like we do in the morning, right? So like when the sun comes up and you start hearing the birds chirp and sort of activity, right? It's not the nighttime anymore. You can tell it's daytime because you hear activity. It's almost the opposite in Barovia. When the night falls, you start hearing the wolves howl and all that kind of stuff. You almost hear more of that pick up in the night. So here in the later morning, it's a calm, almost peaceful silence that you're not accustomed to typically. So, yeah, you guys are actually feeling semi-optimistic about things. The road here, when you get back to the road, is a lot the best sort of track of street you've seen so far. What else would you like to do at your camp, or are we pressing on?
You guys noticed that like Deckard has like some serious like stubble now, like almost like he's almost got like a beard going, and he's got one of his daggers out.
What'd you say? You
Like
said you have one of your daggers out and what?
And I'm shaving.
Shaving.
You're like Wolverine, right? You always got like a shadow growing, like.
More like Teen Wolf.
Okay,
Yeah.
got it.
Anybody else doing anything as you sort of wake up?
I take a shit.
Did we make Thoradin some food?
I never ate.
Uh,
I
Yeah.
shut off when I ate those wolves that were fucking.
You did that, dude. Deckard would lose his mind.
Yeah. No, you can't touch wolves. You can't do it. Not in this fucking group.
I just do my
Not in
normal
this fucking
preparation.
group. You can't fucking touch wolves. They try and kill you. You can't
No
do
problem
nothing.
killing old ladies and children, but no.
Yeah, old
wolves.
ladies and kids. Yeah, but wolves, no. Owls kill them. Ravens kill them.
If only that raven hadn't died. Who knows what that thing would have warned us
Yeah,
about?
well,
Yeah,
Black
such
one
a
wanted to
shame.
fucking
I
smack, you know.
I wonder if that was Nathaniel.
Thank God that
Whatever.
fucking guy's gone.
Black was like, hey guys, look.
Could have dart in your neck.
Shit, man.
Yes.
All right. I need a few minutes. We'll go about another 15, 20. You guys good with that, or you
Yep.
need or not
Yeah.
now?
Let's go.
Okay.
Good.
All right, I'll be right back.
Adam, you gonna leave Zulgar up tomorrow?
I don't know.
I don't want
I gotta
to.
see how this week goes. Everything going on, so I don't know what I can do. Maybe.
I don't know.
Are
I
they?
don't really
Are
want
they?
to do
Is
it.
that like a? I'm confused. Is that like a formal? That's what our.
No, I think
group
it's
is
just
doing,
because
or
I think it's gonna reset by the time we do it on Sunday. So they're just trying to get one in. I think because it's out. I think it released. It comes out. I think tomorrow.
Yeah, man, I don't really give a fuck. Like, the only reason I'm doing ZG is to get the shoulder enchant. Because, like, if I look at all the loot tables, for me, maybe it's different for everybody else, but, like, there's not really anything I fucking need.
You don't want a Zenrock destroyer.
I have a.
What are you talking
I have
about?
A hand to wreck.
I know, but you could get a Zenrock too, bro.
But Zenrock is garbage.
It is, but you would still have it.
Yeah, I don't want it. It's ugly.
Is it garbage?
Yeah.
Nah, I
It's
mean
like
for him it is.
It's like 60-some DPS sword. It's a good slow sword, but, like, hand to rag is 80-some DPS, and
You do not
also
need arms.
I may have access to Ash Candy depending upon how the loot console will work. So no, they're gonna give every hunter in the guild Ash Candy before they give it to me.
What about Kalimdor's Revenge?
Is that any good? It's not fast.
Why do hunters? Is there agility on it or something?
Attack
33 stamina and 86 attack power.
power. Yeah.
Why does it?
Hunters want it because it has a lot of attack power, and
Hunter-
it hits hard. And good hunters in PvE melee weave.
Yeah, they wrap the strike in between auto shots and.
That's a thing, I guess, but none of our fucking hunters do it. So I don't know. I don't care.
Plus, I mean, warriors don't use two-handers.
What?
Warriors don't, unless it's PvP. But they
Yeah,
don't.
it's purely PvP, of course.
You know, they'd rather give it to a PvE hunter than a PvP warrior. I wouldn't mind having it as Ret. I might have a chance as Ret at some point getting it.
Fuck you.
Oh, you'd love it.
Ret's a meme spec.
Bro, you would love if I had an Ash Candy stop.
Hey Dan,
You
Yo.
saw me walking around with that,
my daughter drew pictures of the
you'd love it.
Oh, yeah.
Casa and
Yeah.
Lawson and stuff, and she hated them because she thought they were too cartoony. So now she's trying to do digital, and she just started it tonight. But so she's redoing you, but
Oh, dude, she's talented.
that's her start
Wait. Where am I
Where
looking
is
at
it?
this?
Let me see it.
in
She
Discord.
is
Oh,
really
that's
talented.
awesome.
That's her Casa so far.
I love the little
Wait a
line in the
minute,
eyebrow. That's so cool.
Wow. Really? She's
That's-
doing that?
Yeah, she
That's
hated the
good.
drawings she did by hand. She thought they were just too cartoony. But
Punch, does she have a tablet that she draws with?
yeah, she's in that Apple like a pencil, and their pencil died, so that's why she was done with it for now. But she just sent it to me, and she said it's really early, so it's not done. But
the hair looks
Oh.
great.
Yeah, I was gonna say she's got some skill, man.
Looks like Dan in real life.
Yeah.
How old is she?
she's 14.
She's got a lot of, I mean, like I went to school for art, so like she's got a lot of potential.
I'm so jealous.
Thanks,
I
man.
wish I could fucking do anything like
If
that.
you ever,
I
I know I can't even write.
Anything. Yeah, I
That's-
literally can't write my name legibly for anyone to read, including
I know.
myself.
that's Amber's
Including myself.
Instagram. She does a lot of artwork too. If she ever
Oh.
wants to like look at Amber's
Dude,
artwork,
Amber does some good shit. She has so much.
Yeah.
talent.
Oh, that's cool, man. I'll let her know.
Does she take commissions, Matt?
yeah, she does. But this isn't about Amber right now. This is about Ponch's daughter. So if your daughter is ever looking for like inspiration or artwork to look at, Amber does
Yeah.
a lot of stuff like that. So you know,
She
you can
just-
show her.
She's so like into all this stuff, the D&D, and
That's right up her alley then.
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Amber just recently redid all of the like famous Warcraft weapons in neon, and it was like really cool.
Yeah.
I've been
That's
I've been
cool.
seeing those. Those are
Yeah, dude. You know
badass.
what? She
So-
would probably really dig that, man. If
Right.
you have any pictures you would have shared, like she'd probably love that. She did a really cool Hogwarts picture, like not too long ago, but whatever. All right. Let's
That's
play
cool.
D&D.
Okay, so you guys sort of continue down the road. Well rested now. It's mid-morning. Everybody is a little calmer after 2 days worth of just hell at this point. You continue down this road, and you're cognizant of the fact that there's a little bit of trees to your right. And then you know that you're following the lake now. You're aware enough of the sort of the path, and you know you're kind of coming along that lake. And based on your map, you should be hitting that. You should be hitting that city pretty soon. And sure enough, you kind of crest a little bit of the road, and you see just the tips of a number of buildings and stuff out in the distance. And you're pretty sure that it is a town, and a rather large town, even this far away. But along the side of the road, you see signs, sort of every 500 feet or so. You see a sign with like two like big wooden sticks and a big wooden board with a design written on it. And you see a series of these, almost like billboards, let's say, as you were coming into a metropolitan area. And there's one that you're getting close to. Do you want to approach it? Who's sort of? I guess Deckard, are you still kind of in the lead?
What does it say? Slower traffic, stay to the right.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. So, do you want to get close enough to sort of read it?
Yeah, I'll get up there and read it.
Okay. And this is what you see.
Huh. That's great. I like it.
Do your part. Smile with all your heart.
That's
All
great.
will be well.
That's great.
That looks like a billboard or a little
That guy has
advertisement
a
I'd
lot of
see
teeth.
at like the dentist or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
There's a lot of teeth in there.
There is a little bit more than what I'm used to.
Okay.
All right, let's rock and roll, brother. Let's get in there.
All right. So as you continue down this road, you see about 6 more signs. Okay. So unless you want to stop and do anything, I'm just going to kind of show you them as we go.
Lightning round.
Okay.
Let's see the
All
signs. Let's
right.
go.
All right. So all right.
There's at least 30 teeth in that mouth, just so you know.
And so you see, I don't want you to, so you see a lot of signs. Okay. I'm just
Right.
showing you the one. So these signs are like posted all over the place. I'm only showing you the ones that are sort of that you haven't seen already. So it's not like you see a repeat of several of these signs. They're almost like they've been printed and just pasted all
All right, enough
along
with the
this
cock
road.
tease. Let's see the signs. Come on.
Enough with the cock teeth.
All right. So the next one that you see looks like this.
Fill the town with cheer, and the time of sunlight will draw near. All will be well.
Wow.
All right. Okay.
It's like a happy place.
Yeah, I'm feeling good about
I love
this.
Blocky. This is great.
All right, so you go about another 500 more feet, and you see another sign.
Good Valachians follow the rules, lest the devil come and release his ghouls. All will be well. All right.
I don't know. This might be starting to sound a little culty.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Hey,
A little
that's
bit.
Although Irina and Ismark seem to be perking up quite a bit, and Ismark, you hear Spargle, you're kind of hanging back by them. You hear Ismark say, I told you, Irina, it's going to be good here. This is safe. Strahd can't get you here. And she kind of looks and she's nodding and she looks hopeful as well. About another 500 feet, you see another new sign. Again, you see the other ones kind of posted around all over the place.
The walls keep us safe from becoming the devil's waif. I don't know what that means, but all will be well.
This feels like some Walking Dead type shit.
From
Yeah, I don't know,
the
this-
devil's. What? I'm sorry, I'm an idiot. What does waif mean? Like loved one? Wait.
I think it means the walls are just
Servant-like, I think,
servant?
maybe,
Okay, that's-
or an
Yeah.
abandoned, like
like a waifu, you know?
Like no, a waif is like a kid, like an orphan. I think it's like a. It's like a I don't know, whatever. A waif is just like a cast aside child, I think.
Yeah,
or
like in
something.
Game of Thrones, the waif, remember? How quickly we forgot Game of Thrones, huh?
The what?
What is that?
What was it in Game of Thrones?
The waif, remember the chick that Arya fought?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh
yeah.
yeah.
Is
Yeah, how
what-
quick
is
we
that
all
what she
forgot
was
that
called, was
fucking
a
show,
waif?
huh?
No, you've got a memory like a fucking like.
Yeah,
You
I know.
do.
It's
I
crazy.
just,
the stuff you're
I just have Asperger's. That's all it is. All right, let's keep it rolling.
Wish I did. A couple 500 more feet, and you see another sign.
Come on, come all. The greatest celebration of the year. The Wolf's Head Jamboree. What does that say? Children, attendance and children provided. Oh no, required. Pikes will be provided. All will be well. Good thing black one ain't coming here, right,
You
folks?
see
I like-
Deckard.
I love
kinda
this.
Like,
All will be well. Shit. All will
Yeah,
be
it's-
well.
it's-
Everything's fine. It's fine. Just come on in.
Yeah.
It's good.
Yeah, I know. I'm a
Get a
little
little-
scared, honestly.
Deckard gets a little worried when he sees that one.
Fucking
Oh.
wolf,
Hey, you don't think this has anything to do with why we saw dead wolves?
Oh, absolutely it does. Oh, of course it does, lad. You put two and two together. That's it.
Oh,
We could have took a nap there. It's all right. It's all right.
And you again, as the closer you get to this town, and now the town is starting to really loom, and you're starting to notice that it has palisades. I don't know if that's the right word, but they're like basically if you took giant logs and you made a wall out of them, and they're like pointy on the tops, like an old David Crockett, Daniel Boone, whatever those
David
frontier
Crockett, David Crockett.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I know what you're talking about. Palisades. I know what you mean.
palisades. Yeah. Okay. So just really thick. I mean, sort of just wall kind of stronghold structure around this.
Like
place.
on the frontier. I got it. Yeah. I got
Yeah.
you.
That's what you see from a distance. And I don't know if I shared this one. So you see this has another new unique
Don't say
sign.
his name and things stay the same. All will be well. It's like Handmaid's Tale.
And then finally, you get really close to the city. The old Svalich Road meanders into a valley watched over by dark, brooding mountains to the north and south, way to the south. The woods recede, revealing a sullen mountain berg surrounded by a wooden palisade. Thick fog presses up against this wall, as though looking for a way inside, hoping to catch the town a slumber. The dirt road ends at a sturdy iron gates with a pair of shadowy figures standing behind them. Planted in the ground and flanking the road outside of the gates are a half dozen pikes with wolves' heads impaled upon them. You see one final sign. This one's posted.
Deckard starts to gag again. Just like actually his horse starts to slow down. Like you guys realize like you're kind of passing him, but he's still going forward.
you gonna be able to control your
Yeah, you better control your wolf shit, or I ain't fucking wrong with you.
your new
Your wolf-
alter
You
ego.
can stay the fuck out.
I mean, it's they're pretty much everywhere.
Yeah, can you
kinda
control that Hulk
flanking-
shit? What's the deal? What's the deal with that?
Yeah, are you seriously? Are you gonna be okay here?
Ever since turning, I just the smell of wolf flesh is repulsing. Like I can't even.
Well, look, you're a wolf.
Well,
you're a wolf,
we're about
you're a
to-
wolf now. That's just the cost of doing business of being a wolf. You're going to smell things. You're going to smell a lot of things. You're not going to like it. That's just the cost of doing business when you're a wolf. Sorry, you know.
Yeah, and given the fact that this is the Headless Wolf Festival, you're going to
Yeah.
see a lot of that.
It's going to be a lot of that.
The Headless Wolf
You're gonna
Festival.
see a lot of that.
All right.
Put a fucking clothespin on your nose or something, but you know, just keep it tight. You know what I'm saying?
And if you happen to change into something different, they may not be real tolerant of that here either, obviously.
I'm act real surprised if that happens. Oh, I didn't know. Oh, I didn't know either.
Yeah, I'll have to keep it under wraps, fellas. But damn,
Yeah.
I don't know how I'm gonna be able to survive here. I'd rather be with Stroud right now.
At that, Irina looks at you kind of suspiciously, like, and then on these iron gates, you see the last sign that doesn't look like you've seen it before. It's more of a banner. This one looks like it's newer, freshly printed. It's bigger. There's actually two of them on both sides of the gate. These big banners. So it looks like they're sort of what's being the sort of showcase.
Come one, come all to the greatest celebration of the year, the Festival of the Blazing Sun.
Blazing Sun.
And then it says attendance and children required. Rain or shine. Children required. Oh God, why does it say that?
Yeah. that's-
Oh
Yeah.
God, why does it say that?
All right, and I'm gonna move you guys right up here. And so you are at those gates now. You've seen all these signs. You've rolled up. You hear from beyond the gates and inside the city, the something you haven't heard in weeks and weeks and weeks. Probably since you've been at back on the Sword Coast. You hear you hear like an actual bustling city. You hear people moving about. You hear people laughing. You hear people yelling. You hear people, it just sounds like a normal city, which almost strikes you as odd because it's been so long since you've been around typical civilization. Even Barovia, the town, was just so eerily quiet and odd. This seems like a normal-ish town to you as you
time
walk
to
up.
The
drink
key
and smack some
word-
asses.
The key word there being seems. Just a reminder.
Yeah, that's a good yes.
yeah.
Good point.
We'll slip there.
I'm gonna continue to hold my breath with all this.
But the gates are closed, and those shadowy figures stand right beyond. And as you approach, as you get within eyeshot, as you get close enough that you're able to read that final sign, you hear the voice of a male say, "What business have you here?"
Oh, we're here to
Like a
drink.
random, like a guard or a townsperson or.
Just hear a male voice from one of those two, like, dark figures that's standing behind the gate. You can't really make out.
We're here for the Wolf Festival and to drink and to have a good time and spend all of our gold.
Okay.
Electrum.
Electrum, sorry. Thank you.
Isn't that like
Fair,
the,
okay,
isn't that like the
okay.
top dog currency here? Right?
He says, I don't know where you guys are coming from, but you missed the Wolf Festival, I'm afraid. But sure enough,
Good.
the Burgomaster has an even grander festival planned. You mentioned some coin to spend?
Plenty of it.
He says, why are you so short?
Why are you so tall? I had the same question for you.
You guys don't look like you're from here. That could make the Burgomaster a little nervous.
I'm from here.
I'm from here. Yeah.
We're all
We're
all-
newer to town, but this is what we this is what we call home now.
Yeah, I'm here for a good time, not a long time.
live with
Okay.
my Aunt Kathy.
I'm here for a long time, not a good time.
All right. So you said you had coin and you're here for the festival.
Yeah, it's
The Sun Festival.
Sunfest.
Okay. All right. Good to hear. I'm glad word is spread as far as where is it you said you came from?
From Doversham, Bill.
We're down south.
We're from
Southwest.
Faerun.
As you guys are kind of like just saying everything and random things, Ismark steps forward and he goes, he bows and he says, Ismark Kolyanovich, the Burgomaster's son from the village of Barovia. I've come here to speak with Burgomaster Valakovich to bring news from the town of Barovia and to participate in his latest festival. You guys hear a click and the gates swing open.
Oh,
And
thanks for the bailout.
Yeah.
And
What we
they
were
look
trying to
at
say.
Ismark and they go, we're sorry to hear about your town. You and your friends are, of course, welcome here as long as you are willing and happy participants of the Baron's latest festival. Do you guys all nod or acknowledge that or say anything contrary?
What festival?
Oh,
Which one?
he says, well, we're getting very excited for the Festival of the Blazing Sun here in a few days.
Okay.
I assume that's why you're here, right?
Yes, of course.
We've
Great.
never done it. We've never participated in one, but we are excited to learn.
Yeah, we were very interested in it.
Oh, well, the more the merrier. All will be well. The more cheer, the more camaraderie. That's how we keep the devil at bay here in
Are there
Valaki.
any wolves involved in the Festival of the Blazing Sun?
You missed that festival. That was a good one. Hundreds of decapitated wolf heads that we had on parade
Oh.
to keep the Dark Lord away. And sure enough, we have not seen Lord Strad von Zarovich in quite some time here.
Mhm.
You see
Yeah.
Deckard throw up in his mouth, and then instead of he just spits it out.
Oh, all will be well, Deckard.
And the guard looks a little taken aback. He's like,
All will be well. It's okay.
Blackwood would just explode in this city.
Oh,
He would.
we would have
If he
gotten a
didn't
fight
die then,
already.
he was gonna die. These guards were gonna cut his head off.
Yeah.
oh, you would have had a total party wipe 3 times tonight if Blackwood was still around.
Yeah.
So
Did what to the wolves?
Yeah.
I will Eldritch blast the fuck out of you.
but at that, these guards are just sort of beckoning into the city, and they say, "Welcome to Valaki." As you guys walk into the city gates, that's where we'll end the session.
All right. That's good stuff.
Dude, I don't feel like there is a safe place anywhere.
I agree with you.
Yeah, so
I
the
think
light
this is
business-
like-
I like it though. It's different.
That's awesome.
What's the
This
light
is like-
session?
It's
Are we
cool.
gonna have
It's
to
like
fight each other?
it's like a never-ending funhouse.
Yes, that's a good way
Yeah.
to look at it. Yep.
Are we gonna have to fight each other like when Captain Kirk fights Spock? Like what's next? It's like,
Are we gonna have to fight each other?
yeah, like what
What's
is
gonna
this?
happen when I turn into a wolf in this town?
Oh yeah, I don't know that. guy.
No, I
Can you
know
not
that's
do that, or is that just a timing thing?
Yeah, is that like some Hulk shit when you just get like really agitated? You're just like,
there's not a whole lot of flexible thinking in this town. I can tell.
all will be well.
All will be,
All will be
well. I
well.
love it. This is
I'm
the
saying
way-
that
this
for
is
the rest
way.
of the week. All will be well. All will
Oh,
be well.
well.
Sun's getting real low, Decker.
Oh no!
Sun's getting low.
All right, I'm gonna shut the stream off.
All right.
All
so
right.
I want to thank
We-
all you.
We made it. You guys made it there.
didn't
This
die.
was like supposed to be
Now
4
you
sessions ago, but we got here.
Thanks for watching. Thanks for
Yeah, it
chatting,
was-
lurking. We
thanks.
appreciate it.
Streamers, thank
It's a
you
lot of
for
fun.
your patronage.
Couldn't do it
Sorry
without
you're
you
dead,
guys.
Blackman.